A year ago, we launched a series here on News Nation focusing on missing person cases that were not getting national attention. We are continuing that series every Thursday here on News Nation Live. And this morning, we are revisiting a case that still remains a mystery nearly 16 months later. It is the story of a young geologist named Daniel Robinson, who vanished in the Arizona desert. And in a moment, Daniel's dad, David, will be joining me live. But first, a look at Daniel's disappearance. Tonight, we start our series, Missing in America, taking you to where the people were last seen, meeting these families and bringing you their stories. And we begin tonight with Daniel Robinson.
This is the area in Buckeye where his vehicle was found. This is remote. The terrain is extremely treacherous.
Daniel Robinson was 24 when he disappeared, a geologist working his dream job in the Arizona desert. A coworker says Robinson left his job site on the morning of June 23, 2021. His Jeep, found a month later, crashed in a desert ravine. Robinson's keys, cell phone, and wallet were still inside, his clothing in a pile just outside the vehicle. But no sign of Daniel.
I do my job and find my son. He's my son, I'm his father, and it's my job.
For nearly 16 months, David Robinson hasn't given up on that job, searching the desert and bringing in his own private investigator. They took News Nation's Nancy Liu to the crash site. The investigator says too much doesn't add up, including red paint transfer on the side of the Jeep.
The vehicle was tipped over on the passenger side, so there's no red paint in this area. So how that got there, that's why I'm saying that vehicle did not crash here. That vehicle was, its last place of rest was here, but something was going on with that vehicle.
He notes other inconsistencies in the crash report.
The vehicle had 11 additional miles on it from the time the airbags deployed. It had 46 additional ignition cycles on it after the airbags deployed.
But Buckeye police say there's no evidence of foul play and have resisted a deeper investigation. The private investigator is also no longer on the case, but Robinson has finally convinced an outside law enforcement agency to go through Daniel's computer and cell phones for any clues.
They saw some of the things that I was seeing, and they wanted to look into it themselves.
While he waits for any information, he holds vigils.
As you guys know, I've been here over a year searching for Daniel.
And has organized dozens of searches.
Still don't have the answers that we're looking for. But we thank you for coming out here. It really means a lot to us.
Covering more than 23,000 acres, using four-wheelers and on foot. On at least two separate occasions, volunteers found human remains, which turned out not to be Daniel's.
Even though we didn't find Daniel, but it gave you some relief a little. That, we was able to bring some other families some type of closure.
He raises money on GoFundMe and takes every opportunity to speak about his son's disappearance.
I'm just here to bring awareness to my son's case.
Even appearing at CrimeCon in Las Vegas. Robinson has created a robust social media presence, a sophisticated website documenting coverage of the case, and weekly live online updates, all to keep his and other cases in the spotlight.
I'm blessed that I have a small platform, especially on YouTube presence, as well as TikTok and Twitter. In that doing so, I'm able to also help other families. I had other families on my Q&A to be able to tell their stories as well.
This Army veteran with a new mission in life, one he says he'll never give up.
And no matter what, we will not leave a soldier behind. My son, he's my son, and I'm definitely not leaving him behind. Thank you.
Local police investigating continue to say they have no evidence of foul play in Daniel's disappearance. Joining me now is Daniel's dad, David Robinson. David, you and I have spoken a number of times over the last year since Daniel's disappearance. By watching this story again, finding him must be all-consuming. You changed your life, moved across the country to search.
Yes, thank you for having me on. Yes, it's been very trying for me and my family, Daniel's siblings, his mother. It's been very trying, being out here trying to get the answers that we're looking for. You can imagine after a year now still searching for Daniel and not having all the answers that we're looking for is very troubling in our mental state. It's really, really hard. Struggling and working with the law enforcement on the outside of Buckeye, trying to get more law enforcement more involved to a point where there's an urgency there. I'm still looking for that urgency after a year. A lot of urgency that will definitely give me more answers, but I'm still on the job. I'm still on the job, putting on my investigative hat, as well as being a father, but also being able to help others as I'm taking this journey.
David, I said a moment ago, Buckeye Police, they have a timeline on their website. They say they're still actively investigating, but there's no evidence of foul play. After all of your investigative work and being so close to this case, do you believe that?
Well, according to my investigator, I did hire a private investigator, and all the information that we gave them from tangible evidence of the red transfer paint, for instance, 11 additional miles, pressure on the windshield, the fact that we don't even know it's Daniel's clothing that's on the ground, haven't been forensically tested. Those type things will, in my opinion, based on my family knowledge of my son. I've been there from the time he was born. We have a great indication about the way Daniel thinks. So you put all that things in combination, that will suggest foul play. Against what the Buckeye Police Department feel, I feel there's more to the story.
And you questioned, David, the timeline as well. What stands out to you that may be inaccurate about the timeline?
Well, one of the biggest things is the person that's last seen this person should be, that story should be vetted very well. And we later found out in my investigation, his story just didn't match the timeline. He said my son left, for instance, the well site at 9:15, but yet my son made a phone call, his final phone call to him at 9:28. Those calls and the desire my son sent a text message to ask for the location came unanswered. So again, like I said, my son called at 9:28. I'm assuming to ask for a direction. So the timeline is not right. When the timeline is not right, you really have to scrutinize that story a little more.
David, this is a tough question to ask, and I'm sorry for asking it, but do you feel as though Daniel is still alive? I
have to. That's the only one that's one of the things that keep me going. It's also crucial for my family, his mother. We're people of faith. We believe in God. We believe in miracles. Though sometimes I look at everything that I have evidence-wise that would suggest other things, I still keep that hope and that faith because we don't have those answers of where Daniel is located. So I always have to keep that faith that somehow I'm going to bring my son home alive. And I really want to believe that. And I'm going to continue to believe that.
I appreciate that. And David, as we look at pictures of Daniel on the screen, there's one video that I just love where he's standing outside and snow is falling on his face. He's got this great big smile. I want you to share with people at home your son, his personality, who he is, and what you miss most about him.
Yeah, Daniel's very free-spirited. You probably can tell by the pictures. He's loved by a lot of his friends. He's a very friendly person. He loves nature. That's the reason why he's a geologist. That's why he came out to Arizona. He wants to be able to be in tune with nature. Also, he's a very family-oriented person. He definitely keeps the family together. Like I said, he shows a lot of love to his family. We love him back. One thing I miss the most for me, on my perspective, is having a conversation with my son. My son always come to me. He come to his mother. He calls all the time. We keep in contact with each other. But for me, just having that 2-hour conversation that we normally have, where he's asking questions, he's wanting to know things, he get advice, his entrepreneur spirit, what he want to do in life. He always plan things and always look on the positive light. I miss those things about my son.
And do you think about what you would say to him now if he could hear you?
Yes, of course. I've been here over a year searching for you. I'm not giving up. He's my son. I love him dearly. I'm here to fight. That's what fathers do. He know I have his back, and I'm here for him. No matter what, I'm definitely here and want to make sure I bring him back. And I'm not going to let anyone stop me. I want him to know that.
Amen. David, you have become such a powerful voice for so many other families that you have come in contact with who are also trying to find their loved ones. What has that support and getting to know these families meant for you and giving you hope in your case as well?
Yes. One thing, there's always something light at the end of the tunnel. It's definitely been a long experience. But in that experience, when you're a person that just have a missing loved one in your family, you're unaware of what other people are going through as well. I found out this is not unique to my family. There's other struggling families that don't even have a voice, So be able to talk to people all the time and hear their stories, it caused me to be passionate. I couldn't be human without answering those calls. I just wanted to make sure that I'm helping other families as much as I can through my journey. doing everything I can. That's the reason why I have the Daniel Robinson Foundation, as well as other events and things I do to try to make sure I can get other people's story out there. Very passionate about that. Want to help everybody I can. It's my duty and my journey as well to be able to do that.
Well, you're a great dad and you've got a big heart, and I know you've got a big support system behind you as well. And the most important thing is keeping Daniel's story in the headlines. We're glad to partner with you as you do that, David Robinson. Thank you for giving us some time.
I appreciate you. Thanks so much.
My best to you. And if you have any information on the location of Daniel, if you have any information in this case, the Buckeye Police Department are still actively investigating. You can also go online to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com.
my shelter from the storm. You keep me safe inside your wings. You are my comfort when life gets hard. You lead me to water to drink. And now I trust your gentle hand, even when I can't understand. I know your voice, I'm not afraid. Walking with me at the same pace.
When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family.
Daniel Robinson went missing 4 months ago. This is the last photo his family has of him. He's a 24-year-old geologist, last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona.
As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son. Good morning, everybody. This is David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for coming in this morning's Q&A. Today is Fast and Prayer for Daniel. Fast and Prayer for Daniel. That's hashtag Fast and Prayer for Daniel. You guys want to put that on your page or YouTube channels, in all your social media channels. Yes, today is Fast and Prayer. Today I will be leading the prayer. You guys know how every month, closer to the end of, some people call it anniversary date of Daniel going missing. It's been over a year and 4 months that Daniel has been missing, but it's been on the 23rd would be officially that 4-month mark. Of course, every Wednesday close to that mark on the 23rd, we have a fast and prayer for Daniel. For those who don't know, you come up to the channel. Please, like I say, use the hashtag Fast and Prayer for Daniel. I have it here on the screen. Hashtag Fast and Prayer for Daniel. If you guys can put that on your social medias, keep it going. Like I said, it's not just for Daniel. The Fast and Prayer is not just for Daniel. It's for a lot of families that's out there don't have a voice. Those families that's still looking for their loved ones, who's really needing prayer and intervention. And I believe in prayer. Prayer is a tool that God gave us to be able to reach out to Him. And also fasting, to bring us together, is also good for yourself, for your soul and your spirit. So fast and prayer, I want to be able to use that prayer to make intercessions for others, talk to God, and try to ask for God to bless other families as well, to receive all the information they need for their loved ones. So again, today is fast and prayer. I will start that off with the prayer, like I said, and then on this evening, I do have a Q&A for you all who don't know. It's a Q&A this evening as well. It's at 6:30 p.m. here, Arizona time. That's also California time. And then it's at 8:30 p.m. Sorry, 5:30, excuse me, 5:30 p.m. today. And that'll be right here in Arizona time, 5:30 p.m. California time, 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast. If you're there, you guys, please come in this evening as well. That's why I'll be praying again to close off the fast and prayer for Daniel. Like I said, but those who want to keep going, you can. The thing is, again, fasting and prayer is a tool that we use to give us strength and also give us power. I've seen things that happen since I've been doing that, keeping my prayer going, my fasting, and as well. So a lot of things come out of that. You guys say, "Hey, where's Daniel?" I'm still looking for him, but I'm getting closer to those answers. I'm really grateful you guys already know that. So at least have the forensics being done on all the electronics. So that's always a plus. I always look at it as a plus, saying things are going forward, getting information I need. I'm still here. You guys have been helping me be here from day one. I'm still here on the ground fighting. Some people probably wouldn't have been making it this far, but God has his grace. I have you guys as support. You guys have been doing everything you can, supporting me, whether it's donating to phone calls, to writing, to sharing Daniel's story, you name it. You guys have been there. I really appreciate that. So again, this is a big deal. It's a big deal for me and my family. Of course, it's always gonna be heartbreaking that we still don't have total answer to what happened to my son. So, but I'm still gonna keep on fighting, keep on pushing it, and like I said, I continually need you guys' help to do so. So again, this is fast and prayer for Daniel this morning, as well as I will be talking a little bit more about my son Cass. I always start off with what this YouTube channel is all about. That's Daniel's story. Starting off with that, as well as just take your questions. You guys have any questions, I will have that. I did not have a whole lot prep for this Q&A. As you guys know, some of you may know, I have lost a best friend of mine over 20 years. So I've been dealing with that for the last week and trying to get over that part there. But, nevertheless, I'm still here. Still got to get back on the grind and fight for my son. So thank you guys for those who knew about what happened and been putting your prayers out. I pray for my best friend's family, his brother, the whole entire our friendship, his whole entire circle, my best friend's circle. He have a lot of friends. He impacted a lot of people's lives. He's gonna be totally missed. I know where he's going, so I really know where he's at. And like I said, I'm really heartbroken. His family's heartbroken. His friends, we all are heartbroken. But nevertheless, we're making it. So thank you guys for all the prayers on that behalf, all those who's been calling the support and everything. So again, I will start this off with what I normally do. I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. I'm here to talk about my son, Daniel. He's a graduate of the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. He also is a native of South Carolina. He took his degree, geology, which he graduated with honors and brought it out to Arizona to make Arizona great. He came out to Arizona and landed his first job immediately with a company called Matrix New World, also called Matrix Southwest Groundwater. They hired him on, it's an engineering company. They hired him on as a field geologist. Also he's called a hydrogeologist. He have that position where he go out to various well sites to check the viability of those wells. Of course, he always meet one representative. Most likely, there's always a representative there. It can be multiple, but most times when I talk to Daniel, he's speaking to one representative. He'll meet out of these well sites in remote areas of the desert. And that what he does, like I said, is get those water levels that come out those wells to determine if those wells can produce at least 100 years of water. Also, the rock settlements and things that come out of that water. By law, each well have to have at least 100 years of water before a community could be built. Some communities need to have two well sites, at least two well sites for that community. So you guys, his job is very important. He did that job as he always do. Very responsible young man. Started off in Arizona. Like I said, when he came out, he took a class in Flagstaff. He supposedly came back to South Carolina to get himself prepared to, like I like to say, lead the bird nest. Daniel being a man, and he decided to stay in Arizona after the class. That's why he landed that job with Matrix, and he took care of himself. He started off with a small bedroom apartment. Also had a car that I used to call a Phfd that he had to fix and repair. That's the good part, you guys, is Daniel and his siblings was able to get up under the car with me and learn how to fix cars and things like that and work on them and things. So it came in handy. Came in handy with him. He got the little car. Been working on it, doing what he had to do to get that car running, keep it running so he could be responsible. Doing his first job in life. Always made it on time. I was there at work. Made sure that happened. And then he finally got enough money for himself and bought himself this Jeep Renegade that you guys see right here behind me. Very proud of the vehicle. Beautiful vehicle. The pictures that you guys seen, the better picture of that vehicle is what he sent to me. That's what I put out in the public. He was very proud of it. We had plans for me to come out here in Arizona last year to see the car for the first time, to see him. I haven't seen him in a while since his sister's wedding, and as well as his siblings supposed to came, and we all supposed to spend time together. He wanted to show me that Jeep, and he's really proud of. And so you guys, he's been taking care of himself. Very responsible young man. And on that day, like I said, on June 23rd, he doing his job. He went out. He got assigned to 2 well sites, is what I was told, and he made it through that first well site until the problem came at the second well site. As you guys know, my son was to meet a guy named Ken at from Weber, is the name of the company, out in Alpha Sun Valley Parkway, and that's the remote area. That's the desert out there, the Sonoran Desert area. My son's supposed to meet him on the side of the road where he can take him into this well site. According to that worker, Ken, they did that. My son met him on the side of the road. They went out 1 mile west, 2 miles north to get to this well site out there in the desert. And this, according to Ken, they made it there around 9:00 a.m. And once they got there, he had this conversation about the weather with my son. Y'all know the ins and outs about that. But nevertheless, almost 10 minutes after they started the conversation, my son waved off to him and left, never to be seen again. You guys, you see the vehicle behind me. He was gone for months, for a whole month, out there, out in the middle of nowhere. Of course, with me as a father, as a family, we're gonna go looking. We didn't get much from the police department. They say they did a Phoenix Firebird helicopter search almost 3 days after Daniel went missing. The reason why, because they canceled when I requested for the police department to go out and search for my son that night. They couldn't do it. They said it's gonna do it the next day. The next day came. The guys say they were going to do it, and then turns their mind and say they're not going to do it because they saying Daniel's a grown man. He want to disappear on his own. He can. They came with an assumption. So when that assumption happened, of course, I had to hear that. I come from a long line in life where, then to be straight up honest, as a black man, you don't see too many in my neighborhood where I grew up of law enforcement being champions to my community. So, of course, when I hear that, I already knew that this department was not going to go out there and search for my son, like really put some hard work into that. I'm thousands of miles away, 2,000 miles away. Hearing that, no, I had to go do this myself. So you guys know that I had went out and traveled over 2,000 miles to get here, got here to Arizona, and of course, on chain event, tried to work with the police department, tried to get those answers. I'm a parent, definitely going to look for answers. I'm not going to the police department for a handout. I'm going out there to try to help me find my son, right? And so try to do everything I can. My daughter and I, we spent a lot of time with the police department. My daughter here in Arizona, and we did a lot of moving around all over Arizona, trying to do our due diligence to find out if Daniel may have slipped, which he would never ever do, slip town and is went on a trip or something. So we're checking all the airports to, you name it, just trying to get all our due diligence in to make sure that Daniel's somewhere that we could find him easily. So long story short, that of course in chain event, I started the searches, you guys, and I'm really, like I say, I'm really grateful for you guys who have actually came out to the search, actually been supporting. The only thing I had to do was find someone to help me get things going who knew about that desert and to be able to get me familiarized with the community. And I reached out to the community in that event, And you guys showed up, like I said, had to search for Daniel.org, as well as already had the Please Help Find Daniel website, pleasehelpfinddaniel.com website, where I was putting Daniel's story out there, but then got to search for Daniel.org to facilitate searching for Daniel out in the desert. You guys, but like I said, started those desert searches out there. Hundreds of people, you guys, coming out from all over the place. Some from California, from other places across the country, but mostly here in Arizona. Came out to the searches. We was on a rescue mission for Daniel, spending days out there, or weeks out there, special days as well, during the week as well, and doing a rescue mission, try to find Daniel. Of course, we did not find Daniel, but at the same time, that's when this vehicle showed up, you guys. Vehicle showed up almost 30 days after Daniel went missing, and it was devastating. Devastating when I got that phone call almost a little over 24 hours after they found the vehicle. The vehicle was found. I got the phone call from the Buckeye Police Department, let me know it was over 24 hours that they alerted me, and their reason why, because they didn't want to disturb my sleep for some reason. But the thing is, they alerted me, and the only problem I had with that, of course, is they didn't have Daniel. They told me they used these cadaver dogs and tracking dogs, and there was no scent, no trails, no nothing from the scene. You got to put all that in combination, guys. There's no, according to them, there's no track, no trail, no scent for the dogs to travel. So if Daniel did not travel away from that vehicle, he just didn't travel away from that vehicle because he was never there. So the thing is, so we can go back and forth that ins and out, but you guys know that I've been here doing my own investigation, as well as working with the police department who wasn't working back with me. And so things had to change. I had to start going out and try to get help elsewhere and things like that. So try to get help from you guys in the community. Like I said, you guys have been helping. Again, I will be talking about Daniel's case. You guys having any questions about his case, that's what the Q&A is for, so you guys can just come in, ask your questions by once I get to the comment section, by putting the capital letter Q before your question, the word question, or some question marks and things like that to help me see the questions as I'm coming down the comment section. But I want to start this fast and prayer for Daniel. You see right here on the screen, fast and prayer for Daniel. Again, this fast and prayer for Daniel is not just for Daniel. It's also for families of the missing, families who's going through the pain of having the missing loved ones, those who don't have a voice. We have a couple people that was on, like Miss Diane Francis, who went missing as well. Her daughter been on here trying to make sure she's telling her story. And just wanted to make sure you guys, I put these stories out there. Well, I'm trying to see if I can get on the bottom of the screen here so you guys can scroll as I'm talking about it. But we have Diane Francis. So if you guys can look at Google missing Diane Francis right here on the bottom of the screen, you'll know that story as well. Of course, her daughter, her daughter's here, Sherry. Her daughter was here on the Q&A to talk about her mother's story. And so, her contact information is there. But I want to make sure I just put some of these things back out again. Also, Mr. Risto. I don't know if you guys remember Mr. Ethan Risto. He didn't come on to YouTube on this Q&A, but I did share his story and his son's story. His son is also Ethan Risto. So you guys can look that up as well. Get information about that case. Like I said, it's really important. Also, Angelo Graham, Mr. Graham's son. Angelo Graham, young man, young kid. You look at the story right there in James City County. You guys I believe it's in Virginia, and you guys can get this story as well. I'm gonna put that down on the bottom of the screen. Just look up his name, Angelo Graham, young man. His father is looking for him, and just wanted to make sure we find this child. Also, we have Alicia Navarro, her mother. Jessica is looking for her as well. Been going through. I'm see if I can put that on the bottom. I think I have something here for her as well. But just try to make sure if you can, find those information about her, and anything about her, share those stories. So, but that's one of the families I try to get on this Q&A. Of course, you guys, I tell you again, it's hard to get families because on Q&A. And those reasons the reasons I understand, it was hard for me to get on the channels, on news channels in the beginning. But I had to do that for Daniel, of course. And over time, you get used to those things and naturally do it. But it's hard to be on and talk about your family member and your loved one. For a lot of families, for a lot of people, it's very hard, and so it's kind of hard to get on here. But I do hear about the stories. Be willing to share those stories. Just waiting and still trying. So if you guys know anybody who want to share their story here on this Q&A, by all means, please reach out to us. Please help find Daniel at yahoo.com so we can put your story here. I have it stroll on the bottom of the screen like I'm doing there. Just whatever you need, definitely here to help. You guys know the Daniel Robinson Foundation is about to launch pretty soon, and so those will be helping with families as well. But just want to make sure that you guys are aware of all of that. So if you guys have the tip, you got a tip line there for Daniel as well. Know any information about what happened to my son, please utilize that. But I want to start a fast and prayer for Daniel, guys. If you guys can join me with prayer, we're going to go ahead and usher that in now. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day. We thank you for life, health, and strength. We thank you for this opportunity to come before these people, Lord, to share your name. First of all, your name is great in all the earth. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for blessing us one more time, keeping us from seen and unseen dangers. We thank you for blessing us again, for coming together to pray for those families, pray for my family, Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June 23rd, your son. Bless us, Lord, to guide me, his father, to go out everywhere in this state or wherever I need to go, Lord, and put my hands in the right places, put me in the right places where I may get those answers that I'm seeking. You know the time and place I need those answers. I'm really trusting you, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to fight for Daniel. Thank you for all the people who's been supporting me from day one, those families who have loved and showed love to my family as well, those who have been supporting, been donating. I'm really grateful, Lord. I thank you, Heavenly Father, for blessing. Bless them in their hearts and their mind as well, for their due diligence and everything they have been doing from day one. Bless those families outside, Lord, who have no voice, that we don't even know of. There's a lot of them out there have missing loved ones. They don't know where to turn, don't know where to look. Give them guidance and direction as well. Yes, you, Heavenly Father, to bless them accordingly, and all those who have been in support. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for those families I just mentioned of. We've been partner with them to get their stories out, but we want to bless them even more, Lord. So bless this channel that we can get the story out a lot more to help other families as well as help my case with Daniel to get his story out there. We thank you, Heavenly Father. Right now, we ask for miracles, we ask for blessings. Bless those who are listening right now. You know their needs, their desires, what they need, Lord. Bless their life, Lord. Bless them for their empathy. I thank you, Heavenly Father, for all things. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to do that prayer, as well as you guys who are joining in with the fast and prayer for Daniel. Again, we'll be coming back on this evening, this evening Q&A at 5:30 p.m. Right here, Arizona time, 5:30 p.m. California time, and then it's 8:30 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. If you're on the Central time, it's 1 hour, I guess, behind that, so it'll be a little earlier. Well, what's that? 7:30 p.m. So thank you guys for joining in. And on this Q&A. Again, I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, telling my son's story. I wanted to get his story out there to make sure that my job as a father is to make sure that his story don't die. You guys, when I say his story don't die, that's very important. You guys, every time you guys share his story, you guys are supporting, you're hitting that like, share, and subscribe button to keep this algorithm going. For instance, everything you're doing it means a lot. It means a lot because Daniel's story keeps circulating more and keep going. It may not be a national thing again right now, but it keeps it out there for someone who may have heard something or can see something and really can say something. And that's the whole goal. Also, you guys, Dane's story have gone national, but at the time, saying that's great for people who actually can see the story out there. But there's some people that still haven't heard of Daniel Robinson's story. I meet them all the time. I met him at the airport the other day. I met him in streets, saying you're giving out flyers. They haven't heard the story. So there's always somebody out there to be reached. And so I had to reach those persons, saying, because those could be the key, that one person that you run into, you guys helping get those flyers out. That one person may know something, and that's it. And we can finally have a case. That's what I'm fighting for, where we get some answers and get some good results, or whatever results may come out of that, God willing, for that to happen. But you guys, like I said, it was very important for me to keep this channel going, keep the awareness going. I really appreciate all the media folks that helped me out and constantly helping me out. I really appreciate them. but it's not just their responsibility. It's my responsibility to try to keep Daniel's story out there. Of course, they have jobs, they have people over their heads that say, "Hey, look, no, that story is old or something is stagnant. We need to move on to something else." That type of deal. But I can't move. I don't have that luxury of moving away from my son. So I'm gonna have to stay here and fight and keep fighting much as I can. I don't know any other father that wouldn't do that. Well, I know one in particular, but that's one that I'm not going to be like that. So, you guys, definitely want to make sure you're out there fighting for your children, fighting for your family. That's what men do. And this for men. I'm a man, so I'm going to say it in that way. But women, we already know what mothers would do. I just want to say, men out here working really hard, protecting their loved ones, etc. So just want to put that out. Again, I'm going to the comment section, you guys. Thank you again for bearing in there with me, hearing all of that. Sometimes I get long-winded. Not sometimes, all the time I get long-winded. But you know what? I really need to get Daniel's stuff. But so I want to tell everybody, thank you. First of all, thank you, Tracy, for being here this morning on this Q&A as well. Jessica, for being here. God bless you too. God bless you. Also, thank you, Cynthia, for being here. Cynthia Woods. Yes, I do have a drone, and I will have another search. You guys already know about the search coming up. Of course, it's a non-public search. I had to even move that date because of the death of my best friend. But you know what? It had to move from that date. But we are currently having a non-public search with forensic experts and things like that. It's not. I really don't know the word other than use the word search, but it's not really a search. Just actually doing some work on the ground to get answers. But also have hopefully a public search that will be coming up pretty soon. So you guys look for that on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. That's where you get the information when there be a new search, public search, because there's some areas out there, you guys. It's been this length of time. Of course, I'm not there for a rescue mission anymore. It's a recovery. But I would not be able to leave if Daniel's out there, God forbid, leave him out there on the ground, because you guys know in my searches we have found human remains out there, and I know what that does to a person, and those persons did not belong to be on the ground. I've seen many times we've seen bones out there that appear to be human. Of course, the ones we appear to be human as well were human. Later found out, but there's some that's still there. And we was hoping the police department would collect those, because those are some of the loved ones on the ground, and on make sure they're being found. The loved ones have, and that's the thing, you guys. It's a bittersweet thing. When I was out there and we found those human remains, it's a bittersweet thing. But the reason why I say that, because you don't find everything, and but it does give the family some sense of closure, not the total closure. They know where their loved one is at now, and that's the kind of closure I'm saying. They don't no longer have to worry and wonder. It's hard. It's hard. Like I said, we buried my best friend the other day. It's hard knowing that I won't be able to talk to him anymore, but it's hard also when you have a son. You don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? You don't know which way to think. So that's what happens with families who are the missing. You just don't. It's one of those lingering things. You can linger on for years, where you just don't have answers. Where you want to believe that person alive, and then you just don't know. So you're going back and forth and trying to figure it out. So very painful. It causes a lot of pain. But like I said, that's what we're gonna have those searches coming up again of areas that needed to be searched, and some areas that probably have to be searched again because of some little technical errors. But if you guys can support me on that, that'll help. Hopefully this time I will have some law enforcement action as well in the search. Of course, I will be pushing for that. Y'all look for that too. That's going to be really pushing that really hard to get law enforcement to put money into Daniel's case that they haven't done from day one. I want to put the kind of money that I see in these other cases when they're out there utilizing these things they have the tools they have to be able to find loved ones. And I want to see them doing this in my son's case. So I will be pushing for that constantly. All right, Twistina, thank you so much for being here as well. Thank you, Shauna, for being here, part of the team as well, the A team and board member. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here this morning. PM Channel, thank you again for being here. Good morning to you. And also Anissa, thank you so much for being here off the YouTube side of things as well. Don't forget, you guys, put that hashtag there, fast and prayer for Daniel. You can. Thank you, Shauna, for putting that up there. Hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel. Jessica G, thank you so much again for being here. And thank you for the scripture. I really appreciate that. For we walk by faith and not by sight. That's right. Faith is substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, you guys. And, you know, we have to walk by faith. And we already know that faith is the action word. It's not something you do and sit and wait for God to throw. Some people believe that God would drop something on your lap. God can do anything. But you know what? Your faith without that work is dead. It don't mean anything. So, you know, you can't go out and ask God for a job and you're not looking for a job. You're sitting down watching television. That job is not going to come. So you got to go out there and put your foot forward. And that's what I have been doing for over a year out here on this ground, walking in faith that somehow, somewhere I will be finding my son. I will be bringing him home. And I still have that faith. And I still have that. So thank you, Jessica, for putting that up there. I really appreciate that. Really kind of you. I really thank you so much. Also, thank you so much. I see Lisa, thank you so much for being here for this fast and prayer. And I really appreciate it for those positive vibes. We always need those. And one thing real quick, thank you, Sean, for putting it up. You guys, if you're new on this channel, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button before you leave. That will help the algorithm and help this channel grow. I'm really trying to get Daniel's story out as far as I can. So if you guys can please hit that like, share, and subscribe button right now so you won't forget. That will really help. That'll leave your mark right here on this page, on this channel, to get Daniel's story out there farther. All right, so thank you, Cheryl, Santee. Thanks so much for being here off the Facebook side. I really appreciate that. I think I said already, but thank you again, Jessica G, for being here. Thank you for your prayers. I really appreciate that. Also, Shiro's Nation, thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much. I might even play your thing again. I know I played it before, but I really enjoyed that because you put it exactly how it is. You put the facts there. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm really grateful. Every time I see it, I say, you know, in all your work, you do some amazing work on your channel. You guys can go to Shiro's Nation's channel and check out some of her videos and things she have, her content she have there. Very talented. I really appreciate it. And also factual. So I really appreciate that as well. Thank you so much for being here this morning, and thank you for your condolences. Yes, it's really hard for us, family and friends, but you know what? We're making it through that. I'm back here now, like I said, to be able to fight for my son, Andy. His name. Know my son. Of course, my son know him as well. And he always prayed. He always been here supportive for me as well. You guys, sometimes whenever I need my friend to speak to, dealing with these things here, that's who I run to. But you know, of course, have to find a different way. I do thank God for my team as well, my family, and everybody who's in my circle. So you know, they all are here, so we all here together. So thanks so much for that Shiro's Nation. I appreciate that. Clumsy, thanks so much. I think you have this may be a question, I'm not really sure, but yes, I see some question marks in that somewhere, so I'm assuming it's a question. But thank you so much for being here this morning. You say hello, David in chat. Any new updates? Have been sharing this channel. Hope to get more and more eyes on looking. And I really appreciate looking for answers for Daniel. Thanks so much, Clumsy, for putting the story out there. That's what I'm saying. You guys can share this channel. That really helps a lot, getting people out there, get the algorithms going, and keep Daniel's story out going really far. So. And also, yes, there's been update. The update is that you guys know that the forensics been done on just the electronics. I'm still working hard to get law enforcement to do some forensics on this vehicle that's right here behind me, on those clothing. I need to know the answers to those to this question. We don't even know this Daniel's clothing on the ground, as you guys know from all the tangible and hard evidence. This vehicle appeared to be staged. There's no reason to believe that it wasn't staged. You can just look at all the facts on the ground. The Buckeye Police Department told me straight up, like I said this morning, that they had cadaver dogs and search dogs out there that had no indication that somebody left that scene. No tracks. They can track nothing. They smell nothing. But it's still a question to say they even done that, though, you guys, because you know my search, we found a human skull not far from this crash site, and they had these dogs and cadaver dogs that didn't find that, but we did as civilian. We're not dogs, and we found it out there. So it bears a question their techniques. But the thing is, nevertheless, they saying that not only that, the vehicle wasn't there 2 to 3 days prior. You guys know that from the guy who found it, the rancher. That's his testimony story. To back that up, his story, the Buckeye Police Department say they did a search over this area with, again, like I said, Phoenix Firebird helicopter almost 3 days after Daniel was missing. It wasn't there. The second thing is they did another search almost 2 weeks after that with a Silver Air Patrol on July the 9th. And the vehicle was there. They did a ground search and air search in this area, and the vehicle wasn't there, you guys. Of course, so we also know that the damage, once my investigator came in and it did assessment of the vehicle itself, the damage didn't match terrain, as well as the red transfer paint that's on the side of the vehicle. There's nothing red in the desert, as well as the additional miles and the mileage and the speed the vehicle was going before it had its first impact that caused the air pads to deploy. There's not enough room on that terrain for that to happen above that ravine. We did the measurements. We also did try to do it with ATV, UTV type vehicles who was made for that area in that terrain, and it wasn't able to do it. So it happened somewhere else. The accident itself happened somewhere. So with all the combination, all the facts on the ground, we're still having a hard time, of course, having the police department to accept that for whatever reasons. I know the reasons why, but you guys will find out that on your own. But those things is, it's problematic for when it comes to a family looking for their loved one. So just wanted to tell you that, yeah, there are some updates, Clumsy, and there will be more updates. I'm just waiting on the proper times. Once I get some of this information back from forensics, we can know exactly what happened with Daniel. Some persons who are involved as well. Latanya, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate that, for coming in with your prayers on the Facebook side. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Anissa, for being here this morning. You guys, don't forget, as I'm coming down, you guys, if you have any questions, please put the word question there before your question, a question mark, or some question marks, or capital letter Q, whatever, something like that, to show me that you have a question. That'll make it easier for me as I'm coming down. I come down kind of quick sometimes, and I don't want to miss your question, so I want to be able to answer your questions. Angelica, thank you so much for being here as well. Good morning to you. Also, thank you, Jessica G, again, for being here. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in finding out how to become an ambassador, flyer ambassador, I've been trying really hard, guys. I haven't been, I guess, really putting it out the right way. I have really very low turnout to try to get people to come out to the Zoom meeting. Zoom meetings every Thursday. It'll be tomorrow, every Thursday at 5 p.m. Arizona time. That's 8 p.m. If you're on the East Coast. What I do is try to explain this ambassador program to you guys and see who all want to get involved with it, because it will be helpful with the Daniel Robinson Foundation, as well as helpful now for me to get Daniel's story out there. So if you guys want to be a part and want to help any kind of way with the Come to Ambassador program for your city, I really appreciate that. Just come to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com tomorrow and look at the Zoom link. It's a Zoom link that's on. If you come down the front page, you'll see it say, hey, Zoom link here. That's where you just click that at like I said, 5 p.m. Arizona time, 8 p.m. East Coast time. Click that around that time there, and I'll be there waiting on you to talk about this ambassador program. Just come hear me out. If you don't want to, you're not interested, you still come and hear me out. So I'll be talking about that there, trying to make sure I get this infrastructure off the ground. So you guys want to help as well. I really appreciate that. So again, you can go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and hit that Zoom link button at 5 o'clock p.m. tomorrow, 8 p.m. East Coast time, and that'll help out as well. I just wanted to tell you what it's all about. Thanks so much, Pamela, for being here as well. I really appreciate that. You coming out here to this Q&A. Thank you, Sue. Thank you for your prayers. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Pamela, again, for being here as well. And let's see who I got here. Thanks, Sophia, for being here. I really appreciate you. Thanks so much. Also, Larnell, thank you for being here. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate your hard work and everything you do, your love and support. Thank you, Queen, for being here this morning. Also, thank you, Chad. Thank you so much for everything you do as well. Thank you from a fellow geologist. I really thank you so much for your supporting Daniel as well. So, all right. So I'm trying to read that what you have. Daniel did a hero's work. He really did. It is a shame Buckeye did not help, even though they stand to benefit the most from the development, and they do. They do. That's like I said. You're a geologist, Chad. Daniel's a geologist. Your job is very important too. Arizona. Arizona is a geo place that geologists really thrive at. So, with all the different rocks and minerals and things, the guys, whatever you do as a geologist, this is a place to thrive, and also to help the state in general. So you guys definitely are very vital to Arizona State, period. So they need geologists. So especially with everything with their droughts and everything else that's going on here, you guys are very important. So yeah, they could benefit a lot, especially like you said with the development and things like that. So you understand that from a geologist standpoint. So thanks so much for being here. It's good, and your sister as well. Thank you both. T and Wildflower, thanks so much. I really appreciate that for you coming in again, always supporting. Thanks for the hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel. I really appreciate you doing that. Also, thank you, Sue. I see the first question I do have here, and I really thank you so much, Sue, for your question. Where were you? Were you there when they had the cadaver dolls out, or did they just say they did this? Thank you, and prayers for you all. Thank you for that question, Sue. No, I was not there. Those are the things that were told to me. As in fact, like I said, I was on the ground almost a month when I first started my searches out there. So guys, it was like I told you, hundreds of volunteers out there, even on the weekdays, was out there trying to find rescue Daniel. Now, a frantic moment. Buckeye Police Department knew that. I was out there even trying to get them to come out. They didn't come. They didn't support any of my searches out there in that desert, my efforts. But when that vehicle showed up right here in the ravine, they kept it a secret. They kept it a secret. The rancher told me that the first thing they did when they came out there, he called them out there. The first thing they did when they showed up, they say, "Don't alert the family and don't alert the media." Why? Why you don't want the family to know? Why you don't want me to know? You have to know I'm out there every week searching for my son in a rescue moment, and they know that I was out there. It's no doubt they didn't know I was out there. They knew I had to invite them out there. They didn't come, so they know I was out there looking for Daniel in that area. And their response to that is, don't alert me, my family. Don't notice that they found the vehicle, and don't alert the media. Why? I mean, why you don't want nobody to know that? But anyway, the whole point is, you guys, the first thing, like I said, they did that. They claimed they did all that, but I'm telling you, it's two sides to that story. That's what the Buckeye Police Department said. But the rancher himself, who was there on the ground, told me a different story. But his story to me is more plausible, and the reason why it's plausible, because of what Buckeye gave me. They gave me the pictures, all the pictures they say they had. And they gave me all the other stuff they said. And everything they gave me was consistent with the story that the rancher said to me at a later time. He didn't know that Buckeye Police Department gave me all that stuff. But he told me his story. And one of the things he said out of that was there was no cadaver dogs, plural. It's a cadaver dog, or a dog. He didn't say what type of dog. He said a dog out there. And he said they brought that dog out at 10 o'clock at night. It was dark. And they took the dog out there trying to look for whatever the dog doing for like almost 30 minutes. He said it wasn't even an hour. And they brought the dog back to the little truck and said the mountain lions is stalking the dog, and they left, right? He said there were no helicopters out there. I still want to see those flight records, but there was no helicopter out there. There was no Phoenix. Phoenix did not come out there to look, and they had this helicopter flying low, like the detective telling me, "Miss Rob, you hold your hand in the air, you can touch the bottom of the helicopter, man, lean out the." I mean, why you got to tell me all of that? Like I'm watching a movie or something, hanging out the window looking. I mean, that's crazy stuff he was saying. And he said none of that happened. He said they used drones, and I'd be damned. That's exactly what Buckeye Police gave me, a whole set of pictures from drone footage. No helicopter footage, not one shred of evidence of helicopter footage. So all that stuff I'm saying, you guys, it's a lot of things that was said, but it wasn't true. Matter of fact, he went deeper about those cadaver dogs, Sue, and said that that dogs that supposed they could have had there out there that day when that vehicle was found, they didn't have any dogs because those dogs was in training. Maricopa County. This dog supposed to came out of Maricopa County Sheriff Office. Those dogs was in training that week, so they couldn't get no dogs. So it's a couple things that's just so all out of whack, you know what I'm saying, with this department. And the sick part about it for me is to watch the blue take up for the blue. Like I said, you guys, I mean, I hear all the excuses. Y'all don't know how many excuses you hear in the background that I had to go through as a father looking for my son. There's so many excuses that the police departments can do and ways they twist and turn, and the path is straight, but they'll twist and turn just to make sure the blue is okay. But this is a life of a human being is at stake, my son. And sometimes, just to watch that is very painful to watch how a police department who's sworn to serve and protect the community, they'll twist and turn to keep their blue community looking good or something. When the blue is wrong about something, the other blue will not stand up against that wrong. And I just watch that. I just watch it in live view. All right. So thanks so much for your question. I do see it. Thanks so much again, Shauna, for putting this up. Please spread the word about Daniel's case, you guys. We need more voices. Sign the petition at pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. You guys can go sign that petition. Put your voice to that petition because I'm still really pushing a lot. I'm not done yet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if the police departments want to see me disappear, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be a bug or a fly on their head, whatever the case may be, for a long time. So now I'm not done yet. I'm learning a whole lot more. There's going to be a lot more done. And, hey, until I see the kind of actions that I saw in some of these cases out there when they was actually putting money into, I don't want to hear that BS in the background stuff. I want to see some real action. Like my mom told me when I was growing up, actions speak louder than words. You can say a lot of things that you're doing or what you want to do and all this kind of stuff until I actually see real tangible evidence that you are helping me find my son. I don't believe anything you got to say. So the thing is, actions speak louder than words, you guys. And I'm going to sit there and put a whole lot of things out pretty soon. Like I'm really going to be pushing really hard, you guys, to get police department, because a lot of families they just ran to the wrong family. A lot of families get pressed over it, and they'll tell you things. A lot of people, and I give credit to law enforcement because they do a whole lot of work, and I really appreciate it. Like I say, I am pro police. I'm just not pro corrupt police and bad police, and I'm not pro anything. So when it comes to that, and I will point it out. But I see families would have to rely on police department, and they'll sit there and believe every moving word from a department. Hey, police officer sitting back with filing his nails. I don't know. Hey, yeah, they call family. Hey, have you seen my loved one? Are y'all out there? Yeah, I'm out here right now. And he eating a donut or something. I don't know. Just chilling. And so, but they'll say that on the phone. But where's the actions? Yeah, we're out here. We're working hard right now. Where's the actions? That's the reason why a lot of people are still missing, because it's a lot of words and no actions. And so I'm not going to allow that to happen in my son's case. So I'm going to really be pushing, keep constantly pushing till I see it the way I need to see it. I need to see the actions that I need to see. I need to be a part of the action. I'm just not here just to have somebody do something for me without me being a part. No, I'm being a part. I'm here. I'm a grown man. It's my son, and I'm really willing to work with the police department to find my son. So, you guys, that's the whole point. I came here for a reason, and that's to find answers. So thanks so much, you guys, for the amens. I see all the amens there. I really appreciate you guys, Crafty Fam. Thank you guys, all of you guys, for coming in for this Q&A, Queen, as well. I still look for your questions. You guys have any questions, please, by all means, put those couple letter Q's there for your question, a question mark, things like that. That will help me as I'm coming down. Don't forget, again, to hit that like, share, subscribe button, keep the algorithms going as well. So we can get Daniel's story out a lot farther. I want to get these questions. So if you guys have them, please, by all means, do that. Okay, I do have one for PM Channel. Thank you so much, PM Channel, again, for your support, for constantly supporting. Question, is there an update on transferring the case from Buckeye Police Department? Can it be done? It can be done. All they have to do is do it. But no, like I said again, it's a whole bunch of, I say it like this. It's two jurisdictions, right? It's a lot of confusions. You have one department would say, well, it's not my responsibility because it goes by where a person was last seen, right? Is what one person would say. Then there's another department would say, well, if the person is a resident of this city, they should be out there doing something for this person as well. Then there's another thing too, as well, as calls counties and cities, right? The city is Buckeye, Arizona, where supposedly my son was last seen. We don't know that. We're going by one guy's story whose story don't even fit. That's the crazy part about it. Police were willing to stick with a story just because a person said it, right? Just like with Shiro. I am going to play Shiro's Nation stuff so you can understand where I'm coming from. She explains it very well. just by his story, just sheer story. They going by that like it's the gospel, it's the Bible, and that's what they go by. But he's also that's supposed to be based on that story, the last place my son has been seen. We don't know that. That is one guy's statement. I want to see proof that was true. Show me the cell phone pings, Buckeye, and all the other departments. They know who they are. Show me the footage that he was out there last seen. Don't go by this guy's story because he said it. Show me that his story is true. And they're not doing that. So they want to go by that, by like she's saying, the gospel without vetting it, right? So they say this is the last place he was seen in the city of Buckeye jurisdiction. But it's also a Maricopa County jurisdiction. Maricopa, we already know the county supersedes everything in their county. I've been begging and pleading and asking these departments to come in and take my son's case away from this department, the Buckeye Police Department. And that's the reason why, because of all the inconsistencies, all the damage they did to my son's case, it need to go to a different venue. Only one person can do that right now outside of Buckeye, and that's Maricopa County. They can come in today. The sheriff can come in today and take my son's case. So you ask that question, he can just take the case. He can just come in, he could be the bitch sheriff and do the right thing and take my son's case. They see the wrongness that's going on in my son's case. I am not working with that department who damaged my son's case. If right now somebody comes and say, yes, I did something to your son, any defense attorney could get that person off because the way that my son's case been handled, they've damaged everything from the beginning. I don't want them to keep putting their hands on my son's stuff. Because the only thing that department could do at this point is cover their own ass and try to do everything they can to cover themselves. And more they do that, they're making it harder for me to find my son because all they give a damn is about themselves. So they'll forgive. That's what I'm saying, you guys. You got to understand how the blue work. They'll give a damn about themselves to make themselves look good to the public and say what they got to say and do what they got to do to try to make themselves look good. But in the meanwhile, they're really just hurting my chances to ever find my son. And that's the problem I'm having right here with these departments that I'll be working with in the background, is trying to get them to move my son's case where it's supposed to be, where somebody's supposed to be able to really, where the adults come in the room and really find and help me find out. I'm not going to sit back either and just wait for you to give me answers. No, we need to be working together to get my answers. And I'm not working with that Buckeye Police Department. So they can hang that up. They damaged my son's case and they need to get out. So you guys can hear me get a little uptight at times in this Q&A, but that's the facts. So sometimes you guys, when you hear me get like that, it's the facts. That's stuff I have to deal with, and sometimes I have to say it. It's come to a point where all the stuff overwhelming, and I just have to say it. It's a tragedy to watch that things could be done, and the only thing they'll do, like I said, they'll twist and turn to try to make sure the blue is okay instead of stepping in and doing the right thing. When they see something wrong, you're supposed to be a law enforcement officer. Do it. Do your job. I see something when I was in Afghanistan. You think we ran away from a gunfight? They started trying to shoot my battle buddies out there in the field. My gun truck, we go towards that fighter. We know our life is at risk. That's what we do. That's what I signed up for. If I die, so be it. That was my job. Nobody should be pitied for a job that you signed up for. I mean, when I first raised my right hand and sworn into the military, the first thing they ask you, before you get there, say, did anybody make you do this? Anybody coerce you? Did somebody force you to do this? No, you're doing this on your own accord. You're giving up some of your eligible rights as a citizen. You become property of the United States government. You know what you're going into. You know what you're doing. So you don't go into the military blind. You do not go in the police department blind unless you look for some kind of pension or some kind of, you just like to wear a gun in the badge and like you run around the bit boy. No, you're supposed to be solving problems. You're supposed to be trying to help families. You try to get some loved ones get answers. That's what you're supposed to be doing as law enforcement officers. That's what you're supposed to be doing as the police department. Damn your department when they're doing something wrong. You need to do something right. That's what your job is. That's your number one chief job, is to the community, to the rule of law, all that kind of stuff. So that's the first thing that the police department is supposed to be doing. When I see this stuff going on, man, I keep my mouth closed. No, not no more. Not no more. See, when you push a person in the corner, you get what you get for. You get what you get. So that's what's starting to happen, you guys, because it's ridiculous. After a year, I shouldn't have to be out here in Arizona from South Carolina begging and pleading a police department to do the right thing. You see things wrong, I pointed out to you, and reason why that this case needs to be moved over to another department or agency, that's the reasons why. Don't come with the BS and trying to find a way to help this department cover their tracks. I do not like that, because when you do that, you're causing my son, my son who need his father, causing me to be handicapped and not being able to be successful in getting my son back. So I do not like, I don't give a damn about the department. I give a damn about my son. So you guys, like I said, it's not their job to worry about a department and worrying about their looks and their image and all that, whatever the case may be. No, their job is to go out here to do everything they can, step on each other's toes, whatever they have to do, and do the right thing and make sure that this person is brought back home. Not just my son. I'm just not saying this for Daniel. I'm saying it for every person that should be no case like little Jesse, little boy that was in Buckeye, and they found a little boy later in the meeting. All these cars passing by, and they found a little boy, little black little boy body out there. And they still don't even look into the case the right way. I'm telling you guys, it's too much junk. And I could easily see this happening to my son's case, that I see that happen in other cases, and I refuse to let that happen. So I'm really pushing hard, guys. I could be bad and ugly too. It just mess with the wrong person. So the thing is, I'm really trying to do my best to get the story out there, keep the story going. So you guys, you could please keep Daniel's story out. That's why I'll be asking you guys, do everything you can, whether it's tell your friends, your family, whatever the case may be. This just really help get the story out here. And thank you guys for so much for supporting and keeping me here in Arizona. All right. So Callie, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you. You say is law enforcement involved in helping still. They're helping and they're helping themselves mostly, but they're helping in some areas. Like I said, I was able to get a department to look into the forensics on just the electronic. The crazy part about it, but I can go into that later. But it's ironic though that the Buckeye Police Department was after those electronics for whatever reason, and I know those reasons why. But it was after that for a while, but they couldn't get it from me because they gave it all that stuff on. They know I'm not gonna give them anything, and so they can cover themselves and damage some more stuff. No, it's not gonna happen. But they'll try to find other ways to make that happen. And also, so I think I'm really weary about that. But you know what? We're gonna keep going forward until we can prove otherwise. All right. Also, I got Twistina. Thanks so much for being here this morning. Thanks for your questions. Some posts online from a web sleuth said that Daniel took a bus to the Waffle House to meet someone and took an Uber home. That is the time he sent the SOS to the sister. Is any of that true? Well, web sleuths come up with a lot of stuff too, but as in him taking a bus, there's nothing to say he actually took a bus to that, but definitely, yes, some of that thing is true there. He did make it to the Waffle House, but to meet someone, we don't know that. We don't know that. So if well sleuths have something that the police department don't have and I don't have, then they need to come out with that as well. They can hit the tip line, you see it on the bottom of the screen down there. They can use that and give a tip. That means they know something about my son's case that they need to share. So, but other than that, no, there's no indication say. Now, my opinion is because of the information I do have, I would say he was meeting someone at that Waffle House, or actually spoke to someone at that Waffle House. And that's some of the things I believe that the Buckeye Police Department is holding back from me. When I say it's holding back from me, they gave me still photos of what they wanted to give me. But you know what? I don't know if them guys, and I'm not trying to put them down or anything like that. I don't know if they're like high school graduates or somebody from a college or whatever. But if you put those timelines together, just for the pictures they gave me, yeah, it would bear the question. It's a whole hour missing. And then the way they gave me the pictures, it doesn't make sense for them to say, oh, he's walking out here to leave at this time. And then where the picture gave me, yeah, it was indicate that he was out of they took the picture, kept the picture of the person he was seen with or who was there. And they want to try to make it appear that Dan just eat. This is what the story they gave me. He just eating by himself and he paid for his food and he left. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. So I agree with the sleuths on some areas with that. Is that no, it's more indication that he met somebody than not. So I would go with the sleuths on that part. All right. Also, Carolyn. Oh man, Carolyn, thanks so much, Carolyn, for being here. I really appreciate it. I spoke to you in a while. Definitely had to give you a phone call. I really appreciate that you coming into the YouTube channel this morning. Hi, David, and everyone. I shared Daniel's story with some people in the lobby of the hotel in Barcelona. Oh, you still traveling? I see, Spain. And one of the guys is from Columbia, South Carolina. He had not heard of the story. That's understandable, but did say he would do what he could to help. much love, support to you and your family, and enjoy your trip, Kayla. And I really appreciate it. You're still out there traveling, so that's very good to hear that you're still vacationing, still enjoying yourself. So enjoy yourself, and God bless you. Yes, again, you guys, like I said, there's a lot of people out there that haven't heard of Daniel's story, and here he's from the hometown, and didn't hear the story. So it's very important that we continue to get Daniel's story out there. It's very important for me to keep trying to keep the story out there. I go to whatever news network to do interviews, to you name it, whatever I had to do to get Daniel's story out there, get these flyers out, as well as doing this Q&A, and just name it. That's always, information is always key. It's key. You saying? You always get out there and stay out there. That's key. So thank you, Carolyn, for sharing that all the way in Barcelona, Spain. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Also, let's see who else I got here. Craig, thanks so much for being here as well. If you guys have more questions, please hit that, put that word question there before your question mark or capital letter Q. That'll help me. Thank you, Ellen Williams. Thanks so much for being here this morning. I really appreciate that. Thanks, and thank you so much. I really appreciate your sympathy. God bless you on that. Yes, I'm still going to keep on fighting and keep on fighting for my son. That's what dads do. That's what mothers do. But this father right here is definitely going to do it for my son. So thank you. I wish I could say your name there, but thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that you coming in this morning. Also, thank you for coming off the YouTube side, YouTube side of things. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Yolanda, for being here this morning. From the Facebook side, thank you for your prayers and your support. I really appreciate you. Also, I have another question here from PM Chandler. Just like PM Chandler, you guys, if you have any questions and you want to ask, please, by all means, put like she did that, PM Chandler did. Hit the question there, question mark, or the word question, something like that. Like the word question, big capital letter Q. And I can find that as I'm coming down. When Buckeye LE law enforcement interviewed Ken, didn't he give a description of what Daniel was wearing, which can be compared to the clothes left outside? He didn't give a real description. He just said something about, I believe, the boots and untied. He just named the boots and the safety vest. He didn't say what the color pants and his shirt and things like that. So that's the only thing that from I was told from the Buckeye Police Department. That's the only thing that Ken had told them. So he didn't describe what he was wearing, his shirt and all that kind of stuff. No. So no, we didn't get that from him. I mean, I'm sure now that we're talking about it, it'll come up now. Oh, now he said, yeah, it was after fact. Now he said he was wearing blah blah blah. And what's the day's date that come up now after this October the 19th that he said blah blah blah, because they watch the Q&A as well. So I really appreciate all of them supporting, even though they're silent watchers, the police departments and whoever else. So thanks so much for being here on this Q&A as well. All right. Thank you, Auntie. I see my auntie here, you guys. Thank you so much. This is my auntie, Sabrina. And thank you, Auntie, for being here. God is with you, my nephew. We love you. Stay encouraged. Yes, I know that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Love you too, Auntie. All right. And good to see you on this Q&A. All right. Thank you again, Dog Defender, for being here this morning. I really appreciate that. You coming out always. And you plan on coming. Okay, I plan on coming. I've been recovering, but feeling better, ready to jump in. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Dr. Fender. Also, Pamela, thanks so much for being here. You have a Zoom app, but not even know it works. Okay, how will I know? Just click on the link. Yes, just click on that link, you guys. If you guys want to join me tomorrow evening at 5:00 p.m. on the Zoom, just go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the Zoom link there and say, hey, Zoom link here. Zoom link at 5:00 tomorrow, like I say, 5:00 p.m. Arizona time. That's also California time. And then that's 8 p.m. on the East Coast time. So you guys can click that button. I'll be there on that Zoom and I'll just talk to you about this ambassador program. So yes, I look forward to seeing you there, Pamela. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jessica, for your question. She have a question as well. Have you tried reaching out to Diesel Brothers, Heavy D, and not having to the Diesel Brothers, Heavy D Sparks? I've been trying to do that as well. They are helping family of Dylan Rounds, a 19-year-old lost in the desert without LE help. Well, yeah, I did hear about the dealing rounds as well. But when I was told that the FBI got into that dealing rounds case, which I'm hoping so. That's what I heard last, but I'm hoping that's the case, and that's really helpful for that family. So, but these are brothers, and some of the other ones. No, I have not gotten in contact with either of those nonprofits. But some of the other ones that you guys have been mentioning, yes, have gotten in contact with many others. But thanks so much for that one, Jessica. Also, you guys have a question here from Dog Defender. Is there any way that the company that you work for can be held liable for their employee disappearance on a job site? It seems like they'll watch any suspicious disappearance should lead back. Well, you know what? That's possible. That's very much possible. I really have been focusing on just finding Daniel. So some of those things, yeah, there's some of those lingering things about this whole disappointment. One of the biggest disappointment I had was, of course, my family as well. Aunt Sabrina, one of you guys I just mentioned just now, she's the one who also been pushing the police department to do more. So one of the things is, you guys, Dog Defender, is that yes, that's one of the things, Monty, that I just said, as well as my family. We all say, look, I was very disappointed when I first got here and found out there was no search. I had to start my own searches. You'll think that a company would at least, with the money that they have, start a search party. They will pay for shouldn't have to pay for a helicopter charter to go fly over to try to search for my son and getting cadaver dolls and begging people for funding to for desert equipment and you name it. Just doing everything that I was doing out there. It shouldn't have came from when like I told them, I did go a meeting with that company many times, board meetings with them, and one of the things I did mention to the owner, I'm like, look, it was my worker go missing on my company's time. I'm out there looking. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing for sure. It's not going to be this kind of, oh, well, yeah, we're looking, but not looking. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it'll be a whole lot more done on that behalf, first of all. Other things is the safety aspect of that. Auntie as well spoke about that stuff. Talk to the owner as well. Like, hey, what's your safety protocol? They didn't have anything like that in place that would keep a person like Daniel safe from the situation. So, I mean, they're changing it now, but during the time they have not. Some of the things they told us as well. So, still working on that part. I mean, that's one thing, yeah, you do look at. I see a lot of liability there, but like I said, for me, it's more concerned about finding Daniel right now. All right, so thank you so much also for your question here, Clumsy. Question: can you say if you were able to recover any messages or location pings from his phone device? No, we have not, no. I believe the female who Daniel had been familiar with out there was not forthcoming. Well, there's a lot of things I do know about that phone because I did get some information back. Yeah, but some things there, like I say, I can't put out there, but other things I can say is no. That's nothing really new. I'm still waiting on some other forensics as well, but nothing really new that would say ping locations from the phone. That's something that had to come from the phone company, and that's the problem too. At day one, you guys know that it just don't make sense. Everything that we asked for as a family, they claim they couldn't get. Hey, first thing a logical person would ask, hey, can y'all ping a cell phone? Oh, we can't get that. No, we something out of the, or they'll try to say the phone didn't have any phone covers or something. But yet, me and my family, we were calling Daniel's phone when he was missing from the till it went dead, and it was going to voicemail after it rings like a normal ring, and then it finally go to voicemail. They've been doing that all that day until it finally just going straight to voicemail because the battery obviously died. So it was getting cell phone reception all the time. I go out in the desert. I have never lost a cell phone reception with AT&T out there in that desert. Of course, he didn't have AT&T, but a lot of other people do. Those out there in that searches out there with me, and they was okay. You might get a little spotty here and there in some areas for some of them phone companies, but ultimately you don't just lose signal. Like we just can't have phone coverage at all. So that's one thing for sure. Then the other thing we asked them for and hey, just give us some footage of him, video footage, whatever, from these traffic lights here in Arizona, showing that he was going to work that day. Oh, we can't get that either. They don't nothing. It came up with nothing. Like really. So my son was riding around here in a cloaked vehicle, and for over almost going on 3 years. So he riding around in a cloaked vehicle without being ever been seen. But I bet you he ran that light. Y'all show him in his windshield with his own face when y'all give him that ticket though. But you can't find all of a sudden you can't find no footage of him at a traffic light. I don't believe that BS. That kind of stuff. And then ultimately the Uconnect in the vehicle, which also would show those locations where Daniel was, his vehicle was at least. And oh no, we can't get that either. Uconnect, it came up all zeros. I'm like, really? So it's all convenient to you guys the way I take it. That is convenient that nothing. My son just disappeared off the face of the earth. There's nothing to show. Come on now, and I think that's police stuff right there. That's the way I take it, because it's impossible that every avenue that I tried to find information, like you said, of location, it was blocked, and most of it, 90% was blocked by the department. The other part is because the phone was wiped. So that's another thing, another part of that element. All right, thank you, Lord Strickland. I hadn't seen you in a while, but thanks so much from North Carolina. Thanks so much for being here and supporting. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Also, Shauna, thanks for putting that out. Please help find Daniel. Email, please help find Daniel at yahoo.com. For those who want to be on this Q&A, want to share your loved one's story on this Q&A on this YouTube channel. For those who want to get in contact with us as well, that you can use that. Also, that phone number is there. It's been having a hard time. So those who know have been using that phone number know it's been hard to really get in contact at all. 803-200-7994. 803-200-7994 for those who want to use it anyway. So thanks so much for Shauna for putting that out there. Also, T and Wildflower, thank you again for being here. Action do speak louder than words, and it does, and it speaks a lot in this case. All right, and thank you, Tatia, for putting this up. Fast and prayer, the hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel. Thanks so much for moderating as well, and all the hard work you do as well. Thanks so much. All right, and thank you. Let's see who else I got here. Jessica, thanks so much for your question, Jessica. I really appreciate that. Question is, have you tried reaching out to Phfd Sparks? Okay, they have the family deliver. Okay, yeah, so I think I did answer this question before, but thank you again, Jessica. I really appreciate that. Yes, I have not reached out to those Phfd and Dylan and Phfd, and I forgot the other one just now. You had another one on there, but I don't see it there. But yeah, I haven't reached out to them as well. But thank you so much for that question. All right. Also, thank you, Jennifer, for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your love and support as well. And thank you so much. Let's see here. Say, but was there any found? All right. Again, you guys, I'm gonna read this right here to make sure I get it right. Jennifer said, hoping you and your loved ones find the answer you seek. Not sure if this has been asked, but was there anything found in or around the vehicle that wasn't right, that didn't belong? Your opinion? Yes, a lot found in and out the vehicle that wasn't right. For instance, outside the vehicle, it's not right to see person that you think had a brain injury. This is the police department. I'm going by their statements. You believe they had a brain injury, and they shred their clothes 3 feet away from the vehicle, safety vest and everything, pants pull out inside out, and boots one tucked under the vehicle, was odd and strange on that. The panel of the sunroof that was pushed out or taken out is shoved under the vehicle. How I get up under the vehicle is shoved halfway under the vehicle, and as well as one of the boots. So all the thing that's on the ground, the red transfer paint on the vehicle, that's all outside the vehicle, was very, like I said, out of place. The other part is the glass is on the ground. It was in a perfect shape of the glass, wherever it came from, that glass itself that was on the ground. I'm going to say it didn't come from my son's truck, but allegedly came from the driver's, because Buckeye Police Department say it came from the sunroof, which we all know that vehicle don't have a glass sunroof. So they don't know what they're talking about anyway. But the only glass that's broken out in that vehicle is the driver's door glass. And you see how the vehicle's sitting. that glass supposedly, I guess, popped out and landed perfectly on the ground. You guys can't see it in this picture, of course, but landed on the ground there and it all broken up, whatever, right? And so those things are very suspicious as well. The other part is the inside the vehicle. The Buckeye Police Department want me to believe that the back there's a hard hat, for instance. They say, "Oh, the vehicle's here for 30 days," and how we know because it was raining and it's a hard hat in a vehicle filled with rainwater. Like, and I showed you guys last week about that. Okay, you want me to believe that? First of all, the vehicle lying on the side, the only glass is out is, like I said, that driver's door and the hard hat sitting near the back of the vehicle, and as well as the sunroof is open, but that sunroof, the angle, is no rain gonna get inside that hat. First of all, even if it's upside down. The other part is there's a card, a business card sitting in that hat, and they want me to believe that business card is sitting in that hat for 30 days without dissolving. You know what I'm saying? So that type of stuff. So it's a lot of things with that. Of course, when I look at that vehicle, pictures I have, the angles I look at, it appears the vehicle's in neutral. Land on the side right here. So really getting that looked at really strongly and harder at that. And then the way the seatbelt. So it's a whole lot of inconsistencies there, a lot of things that's wrong. They want me to believe also, Jennifer, that Daniel, there was also, we already know there was 4 to 6 initial cycles after the first crash, right? Somebody turned the vehicle on, cranked it, tried to crank it. At least it might find out turn up, but at least try to crank it. It got to the point it wasn't just turning the lights on inside the vehicle. You know how you can turn the key off, and then there's a push start at that. He didn't push it just to turn the inside dash lights on or whatever case. No, push to try to start it. So they want you to believe that he is somehow in his seatbelt after this rollover. He in the seatbelt and he pushing the brake pedal down so he can try to crank the vehicle up with the vehicle sitting on the side like that. They want you to believe that too. Like and then it's like the superhero stuff of him kicking out the sunroof. When I showed you guys, there's a locking mechanism. You have to use a key to take that panel off at the top up there. But he uses superhuman strength according to this department, and they believe he kicked his way out the sunroof. You know, so that kind of stuff. You know, so there's a lot of inconsistency there, and then the fact the vehicle wasn't there for 30 days in the first place. You know, it wasn't there 3 days prior, 2 to 3 days prior before it was found by the rancher, and that's according to the Buckeye Police Department search of that area as well. So all of that, just to, like I said, and then also a vehicle fitting toughly fitting the description of my son's vehicle 2 days prior to it showing up here in this desert that's sitting out there in Buckeye as well on the side of the road in a different area. So all of that kind of stuff put in a combination would tell you all kind of crazy stuff that you most likely know what happened. And to me, is a cover up. So that type stuff. But anyway, all right. Thanks so much for your question. Matthews Decker, thanks so much for being here as well. I really appreciate it. And I want to read this, what you got. I'm not sure that's a question, but if you guys have any questions, please put the word question there, question mark, before your question. That'll help as I'm coming down. The question, I think, not a question, but your comment, Decker. Let's see, I'm put it up here. Matthew Decker, thanks so much. God bless. I'm so happy that you have been able to get this case, which had totally just from the outside view broke my heart. I'm glad I was able to help you get some more volunteers, as I can't go out due to illness. But I will, when God's help me get back, get over this challenge. I have total and irregardless of faith. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. As I'm not super duper religious, but I have faith. Your son, I'm not that either. I'm spiritual, but yeah, I get your point on that. Your son will be found. These cops are corrupt, and they damage lives of countless people of color and non-white, conventionally normal. You know, but that's the thing as well as yes, I'm not a person of faith. I'm not religious. You know, I don't belong to any religious stuff. But you know, I get your point on that. As in the police departments, yeah. Again, the challenge is to get the blue to stop just being the blue. You know, they need to be the people that they say they're serving. They need to be the people they say the community they're serving. and stuff like that. Because my son, like I said, he's a contributor to society. My son is so much have a speeding ticket. You know, he's a young man. Of course, he's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? In any perfect degree. You know what I'm saying? But he's a person. He's a human being who's trying to live his life, you know, trying to learn as he go. He's a young man. He's not them old foes in the police department, you know, say who had a career, have a life already. He's around probably the same age their children are. You know, like I told one the other day, look, if it's his son, he'd be doing the same thing I'm doing right now. At least I hope so, unless he's one of those other types I don't like. But other than that, you know, he'd be doing the same thing I'm doing. I don't think there's any father out there who really love their family, their children, and would not be out trying to do what I'm doing and fight for their son, their daughters, whoever. And you know, I would not be able to see it. You know, not the way I can look at it. I know what it's like to grow without a father, and my children know they have a dad, and I'm always going to be there for them. So in every capacity as a father. So and this is one of them. Sometimes you have to sacrifice things that you want to do yourself. I want to be on the beach right now. Well, it's getting a little cooler now because I miss that. But I want to be on the beach. That's what I do. I like to be on the beach. I like to be near water. I like tropical stuff. I don't want to be in the desert, walking around a desert, dry place. You know, I want to be in near water. I need to hear the ocean breeze. I need to smell that salt water. You know, that type of stuff. I have a need too. That's me as a person. That's what I like. And you sacrifice that for your children. You'll sacrifice that for a person you love. And this is my son. He's counting on me, and I'm counting on him because he's a young man that's carrying my name, and he's also a person who's helping this community as well as this country. He's a geologist. He's a scientist. We see the problems we have with climate change and all kind of stuff. We need scientists. We need them doing their job, whatever they do. And I really appreciate my son in every aspect. Smarter than I am, and I really appreciate him. You know what I'm saying? I really want him back with his family, with us. All right, thank you, Matthew. Tea and Wildflowers has Maricopa County given a reason why they not have taken the case. What can we do to help apply the pressure on them? Phone calls. You know, that's what happened with you know, the Buckeye Police Department. All of a sudden, trying to like they doing a whole lot more, right? Phone calls, and you know that helps out a lot. You know, that's what I do. Phone calls, as well as for me, I'm petitioning that. Y'all guys already know that I'm really pushing towards this protest this year before the year is out. So that's some of the things. You know, it's been over a year. It's been over a year of just asking and talking, right? So you guys, sometimes you have to go through extreme measures to get to knock on their doors and tell people, you know, to have them to listen to you. So it's getting to that point. The first thing, when I first came out here and been really fighting for Daniel. I had a lot of organizations. Trust me, there's some people there that they're waiting on protests. That's what they do, waiting on it. My attorney and I, we you know, pushed that down to the side for now, but we kept them around. But you know, push them down to the side right now because you know some things have to. You know, you give people the benefit of doubt. Like I said, you can try to give an apartment the benefit of doubt. But you know, sometimes these people drag their feet. That's the problem. They'll drag their feet as if, let's say, my son's captured somewhere and his life is dependent on this. They have the luxury of going home and eat with their family every night and drag their feet. Well, that's part of my job. And when I get up in the morning, I pick it back up again and see what I can do. And that 5 o'clock come, I'm after my job, and they can go home and free their mind up and eat cornflakes or whatever they got to do. My son don't have that luxury. He's out there somewhere, and I need to find him. You know, and we don't have that luxury. So the reasons, I would not put that out because I did have some meetings with those guys, and I can't say from a person perspective, the sheriff is a very, very good man, in my opinion. When I say good guy, just having a conversation with him, very heartfelt, very attentive. His team, everybody is very attentive. So I really did get a lot out of that meeting. So I can't say that part as a character of a person. But I'm saying is the problem for me is when it comes to the department, period, not being able to do something that could be done, right? And when the family is asking, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just asking just to be talking. I'm asking because I want to see it happen. I want my son's case removed. And so the thing is, I have to go through certain elements. I get that. When I say go through certain elements, it may have to take court. It may have to take some other little things, but it's coming. I mean, things like that coming. But I'm saying is it's so simple of just going ahead and do what's right. If you got that jurisdiction, that authority to be able to go ahead and do that when you see things not right, you see the family's not satisfied with that. So that type stuff. So of course, I just say make a phone call, T and Wildflower. Just phone calls, and express those things that you want to express when it comes to why you're not taking precedence over this case. All right. So, and let's see here. I have Alexandra. Thanks so much for being here this morning. So much for being here for this Q&A as well. I really appreciate that. Thank you for, like I said, your support. You guys have any more questions, please, by all means, ask those questions. I will be coming down. Oh, thank you, Travis. Thank you, Travis. I really appreciate that super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support. God bless you. I'm sorry I missed it somehow, but thank you so much for that as well. That's really kind of you. See, I'm saying things like that is you guys that's very helpful. It really it touches the spirit as well. To have your support like that. So thank you again, Travis, for that. God bless you, as well as Anissa. Thank you, Anissa. I hope I say your name correctly. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you both. That's really kind of you, like I said, to show your love support, your love support in that way. Like I said, I cannot do none of this without you guys, and I really appreciate that. So when you do stuff like that, that really pull on my heartstrings, and I really appreciate that. God bless you so much for that. All right, and if anybody's having more questions, please, by all means, coming down to this end of the Q&A. I have like 15 minutes left. If you guys can put the word question there before your question, or capital letter Q, question mark, something like that, I will help. I will be strolling down. So if you don't have that, you guys, can you please put that on there so I can find it? I want to say hello and good morning to the rest of you all, but I won't be able to. I'm running out of time, so I'm just literally looking for questions. And if you have those, please, by all means, do that. Also, thank you, Shauna, for putting that up. Like, share, and subscribe. You guys, if you're new here, you haven't done it yet, please hit that like, share, or subscribe button. That way, get this algorithm going. Definitely want to subscribe to the channel, and to get the numbers I get, the more this channel go out. And I want to be able to get out there as far as I can to get my son's story out there. So, and try to reach that person or persons who know something. Thank you for your question, Alexandra. Thank you so much for being here from the YouTube side. Question, follow the clumsy. Q, do you know the last known ping from his phone? No, I do not. And that's one of the things that the police department haven't done. Those things. I think the phone companies would. And this is a funny thing. I'm telling you guys. Any person would look at this and say this is a possible criminal case, right? I mean, just by the evidence alone, I'll say criminal. I'll just go straight out and say criminal. Something criminal happened, right? And we need to find out what happened, right? But this department, that's what I'm saying. Again, the reason why this case needs to be removed. This department is refusing, no matter what we give, and they'll say we ain't have no evidence of foul play. We don't have no evidence. I mean, what the hell do you think we gave you? They're saying that stuff. We have no evidence of foul play, right? This is for you guys. Some of the stuff you've seen on national news. They was sitting out there on their little channel, on their little Facebook page, whatever, giving updates about story because I started making some noise a little bit. And they literally came out and said we have no more leads to follow, right? But the funny part about it, I'm saying how they is. I'm saying when I say cover their ass, they deleted that post, but nothing. Once you put up something on Facebook, it don't just delete. So I still have those copies, right? And I got it from news reporters because they had it here in local Phoenix and everywhere. No, there's no more leads to follow, right? They're done. I had my investigator. They gave him everything. They said we don't have no leads to follow. We don't have no. They told him that we're not even investigating, right? They didn't investigate my son's case. So of course we investigated. So, but we gave them. We were still getting contact because I needed some more of my stuff for my son's case, get information. And as soon as they used to call me all the time, Buckeye always trying to call me. Call me, and we going back and forth. I'm calling them, they're calling me. Soon as my investigator gave them hard, tangible evidence, physical evidence, right, that suggests foul play, they cut me off. Didn't talk to me no more. Won't answer my calls. I call, they don't call back. They stopped calling me out here. Only time I heard back from them from that point is when they need something from me, to try to get some information or whatever case may be. That was it. No, they just shut the door in my investigator's face. They didn't want to. Then they doubled down because they don't want to believe his findings. They want to make sure it's still going to stay and just the missing person. We don't need this possible criminal case. We need a missing person case in this. They hired their own investigator, who's already got an accident reconstructionist. They hired an accident reconstruction of their own, right? And just the one that they haven't even seen my son's vehicle. Now, my investigator touched the vehicle, examined the vehicle, seen the vehicle, probably even smelled the vehicle. I don't know. He did his job as investigator. Got the airbags, got the damage, did the pictures. I mean, physical or whatever, measure stuff, whatever they do as investigator. Go out there on the scene and measure the distance to see how if a vehicle can get that speed up and all that kind of stuff with the weight of that vehicle and the terrain and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff plays a part. Not their investigator. All they needed was an investigator to say, no, the accident happened here, and what they want, exactly what they want to say. And that's what they made a full report. Had this investigator make a full report about something he never seen. He never seen, never asked for, never been around. He took some third-party pictures. Who knows where it came from? Third-party pictures and made a whole full report about my son's vehicle that he never seen on the scene or anything. No damage, nothing. And the pictures that they have, there's no detailed pictures about the damage of the vehicle or anything. But they want y'all to believe in the public. So what I'm saying, you see a police department put something in the report, and the public will read it and say, oh, man, they did. The investigator said this. Damn that investigator. The investigator didn't do his job. So he didn't ask for me for that. I still have that vehicle. They have not one time asked to look at that vehicle. But they made a full report in that report for you guys, for your entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the whole point I'm trying to say, and that happens to a lot of families. And it's sad because you rely on the police department and they can tell you anything. Like I said, they could be on the phone with you and say, I'm out here right now. And he got his foot up on the desk. You just don't know. That's why it's really important for you to be a part of your efforts to find. It's your duty and your right as a citizen. Be a part of me. I'm being a part of finding my son. So if they ain't working with me, then saying we got a problem. So the thing is, that's another thing as well. But I'm going a little far way off to the left. But no, we did not get any cell phone pings because that department claiming they cannot get it. First of all, you got to have a warrant for the cell phone plea because they won't make it a criminal case. That's the point I was going at, or possible criminal case. Because if they do that, then there'll be no stopping me. Say, well, you need to go to this phone company and get a cell phone ping. They don't want me to get those cell phone pings, obviously, because if it become a criminal or possible criminal case, and they can go to a judge and say this is the reason why, they give them what my investigator gave and say this is suspected foul play. Judge will get a write-off on a warrant, and they can go to that phone company and get a cell phone ping, and it'll tell exactly where my son's phone was at and all this kind of stuff. And they don't want that. That's where I'm taking it. They don't want that, and I'm saying it that way on purpose. In my opinions, they don't want that, and that's the thing. It's obvious. It's obvious that because it's so easy. All right, and here it is. Okay, let's see here. I do have a question. Let's see. Sue. No, thank you so much, Sue, for being here. The ladies of the Buckeye Police Department. Heard, and I'm sorry to have to deal with. Yeah, and that's just the way it is. Just dealing with saying oh man, just dealing with this whole stressful moments with this police department. And so anyway, thanks so much, Sue. I do have a question here from Matthew Decker. Thanks so much again, Matthew, for your question. If you need help with funding, I can help provide merchandise designs and merchandise for you to profit for. That's what I want to help you do to raise awareness. My email is public and available for you to request this help. Request meaning just letting me know It is. Yeah, I would like to learn more about what you're doing there, as in for awareness, Matthew. So if you can, you put your information here. You say it's public. I'm not sure where, but if you put it here as well, my team would pick that up there in the they're moderating in the chat. So they would pick that up for me. I really appreciate that. Or also, please help find Daniel at yahoo.com. I can be contacted there email wise. And if you want to do that as well. So thank you so much. I will learn more about that. I'm not sure exactly what design, like if you design flyers and stuff like that, that may be helpful. All right. Thank you also again. Let's see who else I got here. Everybody, thanks so much for being here this morning for this Q&A. And I hope you guys can come this evening for the Q&A as well. I just wanted to put something else up real quick. And let's see if I can find it again. And I hope she don't mind. If She Road Nation is still here, I want to put that up for my last few minutes here. If I don't have any more questions, I just want y'all to look at She Road Nation's assessment of the case. And I mean, she's dead spot on. Like I said, I definitely endorse that. But I want to put it back up one more time, and it's going to take me a minute to pull up. I didn't prepare for this, but I do want to put her channel up here if she don't mind. She told me I could in the past. I think you wouldn't mind right now, She Road Nation, if I play that. Let's see if I can get you up here real quick here. All right. Also, thank you, Ryan, for your question. In your last live, you mentioned the things that in Daniel's Jeep might have been moved around. What was in the box that was on top of the car, and the photos you shared last week? And that's the thing. I don't know what's inside that box, you guys. I'm assuming it's from my investigator, where he told me, he said it was some notes or whatever. He had those laws or whatever thing they use do as geologists, whatever, the notes he do at the well and stuff like that. That's what I was told by my investigator. I have not seen those things for myself. And the thing, like I say, for me, just that period, I haven't seen that for myself. I haven't been around that vehicle. So when I say have been, I haven't looked in anything, touched anything. So and I do that on purpose, even to this date, because I don't have no conflict or breaking chain of custody or have no conflict interest or whatever when it comes to that vehicle. I stay away from it. So and I will find out what's in it again if they look at it again. But last I was told from my investigator that there was some laws and things like that. So that box was taken out of there. If you look at some pictures sitting on top of the vehicle, the Buckeye obviously pull it out on top of the vehicle and back in the vehicle, up top, So reason why they were doing all that, I don't know. But that's it with that. All right, I want to put this up right here. I'm gonna get this question here, and then I'm gonna put the Shields Nation video up there. Again, if you guys want to visit her channel, it's called She Rose Nation. But I want to answer the question: how much fuel was in Daniel's tank when they found the car? I'm not sure about that either. I don't have answers to that one as well. But they're saying that he made a gas purchase. And I'll still look at those pictures, you guys. I did get those pictures, and I'm still looking at it to try to see I identified it as actually was Daniel or someone else. Then it's very bad quality, but try to figure out if that was Daniel at that gas pump or not. Question: thank you, Clumsy. Were the clothes that were in the desert next to the car verified as Daniel? No forensic work was done on it. Me and the family, we don't identify it. And were they really folded and placed there neatly? They wasn't folded. They was just placed in the pile, I would say neatly, for a person who was suspected to have a brain injury, and they saying it just got out of a car accident at that, you'll think of a person feel hot, like they claiming, you don't take it out and just keep dropping in the spot. You be just taking out, trying to get out, throwing, that kind of stuff. But, and then also Daniel, I don't believe all of that. So it would be like that. So no, it wasn't folded, like, folded like you would put it in a drawer or something like that. No. Paula, thanks so much for the question. Would love to know what your daily life is like searching for your son. How does your day start? How does it end? It starts early. I'd say like that. Day starts early, and it ends late. With me trying to figure out how I can be effective be honest, I'm very critical of myself, and I can tell you guys that. People say, "Oh, Mr. Robinson, you have done this and that." I can't see it. I guess for me, it's more the fact that I still don't have my son, and I feel like everything I'm trying to do is not really not going nowhere. That's the problem. And sometimes when I say not going nowhere, meaning that I should have had my son by now, and I guess I have high expectations, and I go get it. Sometimes investigations take a while, but I just don't have my son. So for me, yeah, the day start early. It start early. My team and I, we started early in the morning. So for me, it just like I say, I sit and try to figure out different ways to um, find Daniel. That's it. Different strategies, who I'm going to talk to next, how I'm going to get them to see things the way I see it, um, who else I need to contact, what I need to do, how I can get these searches back off the ground, for instance, or how I can get these flyers out. So it's a whole lot of things. That's how my day is always consisted of that. And then keeping up with interviews and people who's reaching out to say, hey, Mr. Ross, can we do this, that, blah, blah, blah. And that's where the team come in handy. And where they come in at is to help me stay in track with that kind of stuff. Emails, checking emails, and also to you guys try to find any kind of way, like I used to when I first started coming out here. The last thing I did at night was to actually respond to each person that writes, say something. I made that be the last thing I do before I go to sleep that night. But of course, over time now, things got so much bigger, and a lot of things started happening at one time, trying to get a foundation going and all the kind of stuff. Everything pulling at one different direction. I don't have time to actually even stop to do the simple thing of answering a lot of inbox messages and things like that I would love to get to. So my day is filled with that kind of stuff. Started with something. There's always something new, something different, something I had to end up doing. But everything I do so far is all geared to try to find Daniel and try to find better ways of doing that. Try to find ways to get his story out more. You name it. It is a whole bunch of stuff. So, but anyway, daily life is different. Daily life is not the life I had before I came out here. Look for my son. It's not being a retired military guy, being able to go to the beach, like I said, in the summer months, go visit family, uh, whatever a person does to entertain themselves. My whole daily life is about Daniel, trying to find out how I can, like I said, better find or look for him and stuff like that, or what we could do for another family, stuff like that. So that's what my days consisted of every day. So there's a lot of stress involved with it as well, especially with the frustration dealing with law enforcement. I can't say that. Dealing with them, trying to get them to see things my way, or actually want to see the kind of efforts, see more efforts from them as much as or least equal as I'm putting in as a father. So I want them to do just as much, and they have the resources and being able to do more. They can say, people say all the time, yeah, we're doing this and we're doing that. I'm grateful, thank you, but show me. That's what I want to say. I just got to see it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not a person that just you can just tell me something and I don't see it and I'm supposed to just believe it because you said it. No, I can't do that. But thank you so much for the question, Paula. To ask me that question, that means a lot. And I have one. I'm still waiting on the Shiro's Nation. I'm going to put that up in a minute because I did run out of time here. Did Daniel Neighbor mention the last time they have seen him? Yes, they have. That's one of the first things I did when I got here. I interviewed his neighbors in his complex. Also, he didn't live in Buckeye, right? Nope. A lot of people got that wrong. I saw that on out there in the. That's why I had the Q&A, you guys. Some of those things, even the smaller things like that, matters. No, Daniel never lived in Buckeye. He worked in Buckeye that day. He's a resident of Tempe, and that's another reason why you guys we have this discrepancy going on. One department may say, "Hey, well, just because he's a resident of Tempe, he was last seen. This place is not in our hands." Then some would say, "No, is the person he's a resident of Tempe. It is in their hands. It should be that department that handle it." And Buckeye shouldn't be having the case in the first place because we don't know if that's really the last place Daniel's seen. We're just going about one person's word that haven't been vetted. That is a word, But we do know for a fact that Daniel is a resident of Tempe. So he lived there. So no, he lived in Tempe, Arizona, and that was the work location. No, Buckeye was the work location, of course. Yes, Buckeye's work location out in Sonoran Desert of Buckeye, Arizona. But no, he's a resident of Tempe, Arizona, and that's a lot to say about that. But we'll get to the bottom of that part too to find out which one is correct. I do know the first department I reached out to when Daniel was missing, when I knew he was missing, I reported it to Tempe Police Department, who told me to call. They transferred me and had me to call Buckeye. All right, so that's where all this problem came from. All right, question here from Tracy. I asked about the fuel because of a $3 purchase is unusual. It is very unusual. Also, can the clothes Daniel was wearing be verified from Shell security footage? Yeah, I look at that and I didn't see, like I said, that footage is so. The person that was standing there almost looked like a shadow. I don't know if they messed with the lack of words, messing with the settings on the colors and whatever. But that quality was given to me picture wise. It was pictures. It's really bad. It's really bad to make out anybody who that is standing at the pump or even seeing the vehicle really. But it's funny to me. That Buckeye Police Department would say, "Yeah, that's his vehicle at that pump because it's shaped like his vehicle, right? That's his pump. That's his vehicle. That's Daniel at that pump pumping his gas." But when I say that about the vehicle 2 days, 2 or 3 days, I think it was 2 days. That's ironic now. That looked just like Daniel's vehicle sitting on the side of the road. Same damage. I mean, what I'm saying? The crazy part about it, I do have the guy that got his recorded stuff as well. The guy described the damage on the windshield the same. I told the Buckeye Police, yeah, so like the windshield's beat in and blah, blah, blah. Does he say it was on the side of the road, right? His wife took the picture as they were passing by or something on the side of the road out there in Broadway area. Now, the vehicle showed up in the desert, the same kind of damage on the windshield that the guy described it, and they said that's not his vehicle. Buckeye, a real blurry vehicle is really bad quality as well. That's not his vehicle. How you know that's not his vehicle? Go check it out. When I go check it out, somebody towed it away, and to this day they won't tell me who towed it away. Because they're supposed to send a cruiser out there to. Because I told them I was on the way. It's like a 40-minute drive, so I said, "Hey, I'm going up there to see. I'm going to see this vehicle." Blah blah blah, and they got it out of there before I got there. Whoever it was, it's ironic, right? It disappeared before I got there. The guy called me back, "Hey man, I don't know what happened, but that vehicle's gone now." He went back there. Before I was on the way up there now. Called me, "Hey, it's gone." And I called Buckeye immediately, told him, "Hey, trying to find out who towed away." Because he told me, I said, "Well, that's crazy because Buckeye said he was sending a cruiser out there." And he said, "Well, I seen the Buckeye Police Department's car, but the vehicle's gone." So I called him, like I said, to try to get the information. I still to this day don't get the information from that Buckeye Police Department. What happened to that vehicle? It's not your son's vehicle. How you know? Oh, the rims look different. In the bluer picture, you saying the rims look different or something like that. It don't look different, not to me. That's his opinion versus my opinion. And so it don't make his opinion an expert opinion because he don't know, say he looking at the same thing. I'm looking at eyes as eyes. And so he never seen my son's vehicle before unless he did. And he haven't seen it, so he cannot compare it to anything. All we know that the comparison is it was the same as that the guy who eyewitness who found it said it appeared to be that. Tell me the color and everything, and the damage on the windshield. Then all of a sudden, lo and behold, I'm doing desert searches out there all this time with volunteers. All of a sudden, the vehicle get dumped out there. According to my investigator, it been dumped out there, wasn't there. So all that comes together of some suspicious foul play stuff, but that department making sure that it's not going to be so. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's where I take it. And but at $3 of gas, nobody's going to put $3. What do you need $3 of gas in an SUV for? $3 of gas or whatever the person was. I don't want to get the numbers wrong, but it's closer to that $3 a gas. For what reason? That type of stuff. But anyway, let me go ahead and get the Serious Nation thing out. I hope she don't mind. I don't think she would, because she told me I could do it in the past. But I want to put it up here again for you guys, and I just want to end it. This Q&A. You guys come back again this evening. Please come back this evening and join me on this next Q&A this evening. I want to be able to. Do the prayer to end the fast and prayer for Daniel, as well as I want to give you more information. I'm trying to see if I can get more content or something to really show you guys. Maybe the police report, we may go through that, or some other little items that items that I talked about in the past. But I definitely want you guys to come back and be a part. So again, thank you again for coming out to this Q&A. I want to go ahead and play Shiro's Nation's video here. Share a screen with that, and then like I said, I'll come back and then we'll end it. And I'll be back this evening. So, all right, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
These are facts you can't ignore about the Daniel Robinson case. What's up, YouTube? My name is Shiro, and welcome to my channel, where I talk all things true crime, missing persons, and I share the untold stories of those in the Black community that need more attention. If you're new here, I want to welcome you. Come on in, come on in. Feel free to suss out my vibe, see if you like it, and if you do, hit that subscribe button. If you are a returning subscriber, you already know what's up, fam. So good to have you back in the virtual space once again, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your continued support. Daniel Robinson is a 25-year-old geologist who went missing on June 23rd, 2021, after leaving his work site in the Arizona desert. If you haven't yet, check out the full story in the link below. Here are some facts about the case that are sure to leave you scratching your head. Number 1, ghosted by his employer. Daniel Robinson is a geologist who worked for Matrix New World Engineering in Phoenix, Arizona. Though he allegedly went missing on duty after leaving his work site in the Arizona desert, the company didn't post about the disappearance of their employee for 7 months. Daniel went missing on June 23, 2021, but his employer didn't publicize his disappearance on either of their 2 social media accounts.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Until February 3rd, 2022, which was National Missing Persons Day. They even had the audacity to include in the post, "We stand with his family and friends and are committed to continue the search to locate him." How's that? And what exactly do they mean by committed? Because by definition, to be committed to something means A, to carry out or perpetrate, B, to pledge or bind to a certain course or policy, or C, to be dedicated to something. Now, it has been confirmed that in the beginning, a few employees from the company joined a couple searches here and there. Well, let's just say I personally have a problem with this. I would have expected more. Someone even went as far as to create a new Instagram page back in October of 2021 in the company's name. I guess that was supposed to signify support in the search for Daniel. Well, that didn't last long. They posted a few photos over the course of 10 weeks and kept it moving. And by the way, the whole point of supporting an effort on your page is so that the current following on your page sees your post.
Duh.
It appears they may have just been covering their asses just in case someone came around later and asked, "Hey, why aren't you guys searching for Daniel?" And that way they could look like they were being the responsible people they aren't. Number 2, allegedly, the job had no safety protocol for their remote workers. Though it's a small firm with about 50 to 200 employees, in September of 2021, Matrix New World Engineering was listed in the top 200 environmental firms by ENR, the Engineering News Record online magazine. According to recordreach.com, it has a current revenue of approximately $32 million. So it appears financially they're doing okay for a growing company. But even though they made a monetary donation in search for Daniel, they have never formed a search party of their own to look for him. Mind you, this is a job which required him to work in remote areas such as the one he was last seen. And there is no evidence to support Daniel even went missing on his own accord. And therefore, the possibility he was injured on or abducted from his job site still exists. Allegedly, Matrix New World had no protocol in place for their remote workers to actively verify their location while on duty and has not assumed responsibility for Daniel's disappearance. They have not shown an active interest in this case, and the effort they've put forth, well, at least in my opinion, seems a little bit more political in a sense. Like,
let's make an effort just so we don't look like buttholes.
But my point is that they failed him twice. First, by not taking measures to ensure his safety, and second, by not initiating the effort to look for him as soon as he went missing. Number 3, if the coworker says it happened, it must be true. It appears that the entire focus and direction of Daniel's disappearance is solely based off one man's account, Daniel's coworker, who admits to seeing Daniel on the morning he went missing. Apparently, the Buckeye Police Department has great confidence in his testimony, which in turn, in my opinion, has had a major impact on the direction of this case. But there were contradictions in his statement to investigators with reference to the timeline of events and what happened the morning Daniel disappeared. For some unknown reason, Ken's inaccuracies don't seem to raise a big enough red flag to law enforcement. Unfortunately, in my opinion, their belief in his testimony plays a large part in why this investigation is still considered to be just a missing persons case. Because think about it, if his story doesn't uphold, it would unravel every theory they've come up with to this point. And that would mean that he could be withholding information, thus making him a person of interest, and therefore heavily support the argument that Buckeye needs to open up a criminal investigation. If he were... You know what? Never mind. I just want to know, why is it that in some cases you find that just because a particular person says something and appears to be a nice person, law enforcement will write it up as the gospel and conduct their entire investigation based off the testimony of one individual, as in the Lauren Smithfield's case, when law enforcement let this random guy walk out of her apartment without properly questioning him because, according to them, he was such a nice guy. And even after finding evidence in her apartment contradicting his statements, nothing was done about it. So, in this situation, Daniel's coworker gets to be the nice guy who seems like he's telling the truth. And even when it's brought to the attention of the authorities that his story doesn't add up, it just gets ignored. That's the frustration we are dealing with here. But keep in mind that all of this information is alleged, so therefore I nor anyone else privy to this gets sued. Number 4, law enforcement lied. Not only did the Buckeye Police Department enter Daniel into the National Missing Persons database 2 weeks later than they said they did, they also did not fill out very important details about Daniel's description that a person would need if they needed to check the website and verify his identity. As many of you know, Daniel is missing his right arm, though nowhere in the description does it say this. As a matter of fact, they just left this part blank, and photo images of Daniel were not updated to the national website until July 9th. That was also the first time ever that a picture of his vehicle had been posted to the site as well. Number 5, the Buckeye Police Department has psychic powers. If you go to the buckeyeaz.gov website under the Daniel Robinson investigation overview and scroll down to July 9th, you will see a map of the aerial search the Buckeye Police Department claims to have conducted on that day. But what you will also notice is the distinct marking indicating the location of Daniel's worksite and another showing the location of where Daniel's Jeep was found. Though it wasn't until 10 days later on July 19th, the Jeep was actually found. At least that's the information that was put out to the public. So how exactly did Buckeye know the location of where the Jeep would be found so far ahead of time? I think I know.
All I gave her was my name and my birthday, and she started telling me everything that was going on.
I mean, if all you need is a name and a birthday, either one of them is psychic or they called one. Duh. As a community, we have the right to demand answers. And I'm in no way anti-law enforcement. I am only anti-corruption. My people deserve better. What are your thoughts about all this? If you would like to catch up on everything I've covered thus far, the links will be provided to you below. Also, the family could use your help. One thing that's needed more than anything right now are your donations. If you would like to find other ways you can support, go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. I'll be sure to leave the access link below. Please note that my views on how law enforcement and others have responded to this case are strictly my opinion and does not in any way reflect or speak on behalf of the Robinson family. Every judgment or criticism that I make is independent of the family's views. I speak for myself and I take full accountability for anything I say on this channel. To stay up to date and get real-time notifications on this case and more, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a beat. Until next time, love hard on the ones you love, stay around people who make you smile, and make it your mission to laugh as much as you can. May your heart always be super, super full until your joy spill over. And until next time, my name is Shiro, and I'm out.
Forgot to add myself to the screen. Thank you guys for watching that. Again, I'm going ahead and finish this Q&A for today. I wanted to thank Shiro's Nation for allowing me to use her video. Definitely, like I said, again, you guys can go to her channel. It's called Shiro's Nation. And she's on there. She's on the chat. So thank you so much, Shiro. But yeah, go to her channel and support her channel as well. Very good content there. I played this a couple times. She have a couple other ones as well that I really grateful for her to get her facts done first. And that's one thing that's very critical. You know, some of the facts. And so when she put the facts there, that's the reason why I'm drawn to that. Watched it, and I'm I'm impressed because I can't do all that little stuff, adding the little things floating around and all kind of stuff. Like you said, you had someone person asked me earlier about my day. My day don't allow me to be able to utilize some of those things for the content stuff. But I really enjoyed it. She was very talented putting those videos together, as well as how much it takes. I talk to people like Gizla K from Grizzly True Crime, who have to spend time to put these content together. There's no easy work. Like what she doing is no easy work. I can tell you that off the rip. I tried it before. I couldn't. Also, how they do it, be able to put those content together the way they do it, and then you have to do your research too, and not just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna throw some stuff up on the screen." They literally go through research and get these articles or whatever the case may do to put it together. It takes a lot of time, so I really thank her, and I really appreciate her doing that on behalf of Daniel, my son, and getting his story out there, and make sure that you guys, even on her channel, you guys hear about his story. So I really appreciate that, and she's passionate, obviously, because like I say, the facts are there. Is exactly what I would say. Exactly what the information that's put out there. So for the public. So thank you again, Shiro Nation. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for coming into this Q&A. Again, like I said, this fast and prayer, you guys, if you can hit that, definitely make sure you get the hashtags fast and prayer on your social media for those who want to be able to join in with us and come back this evening so I can pray. Pray the end of the fast prayer. I only do it because that is the Q&A. But if you want to keep going, of course, but definitely want to pray with you guys. The end the Q&A, the fast and prayer for the day, as well as give you some more information, things I want to talk about this evening, answer your questions as well. So thanks so much. God bless you guys, and I hope to see you this evening. I love you. Thank you so much. God bless.